What's up guys, it's Stankey here. I'm just doing another replay analysis, but this time I was going to do one of my own gameplays, and I was going to change it up a little bit and do a support game. I have been climbing on ladder recently, working my way up to 5k in like 4.8 something now, and I've been playing like just mixing and matching what I play, and I've been playing a few support games as well in the games that require it, where mainly if I'm not the highest MMR on my team and the safe lane and core positions all get, snapped up pretty early, and I think it's more important to build a good team composition for winning games than it is to try to snatch and fight for core positions. And I won 3 games in a row, 2 on Rubick and 1 on Earthshaker, and felt like I had a pretty big influence on those games, and sort of wanted to share, how I go about trying to influence these sort of 4.8 at 4.7 average, I think most of these were, around some of them 5k average games in Australia servers, by the way, for trying to get wins. So anyway, let's tuck into it. It's just started raining outside. Hopefully you can't hear that too badly. But so got a hell of a lot of tangos, but it's because I had to pull 2 to my mid because I'm the only support. So I didn't want to only have 2 for laning phase, and I had to buy both wards and career doing the whole shebang. So here I think I saw on the map that they were all bottom. Yeah, I saw that they had their Lion and Jug. They had a lot of heroes bot, so I thought I could quite safely walk up this hill and even if it wasn't safe, there wasn't going to be too many heroes, and I wanted to check up here before I warded, because if someone's standing up on this hill and they just see me walk up and place this ward, then then they get vision. I'm just going to show you here from their actual perspective. They don't actually see me. If I go to their fog, I'm passing through there now, and they don't see any of it. I can come back down, walk past. I don't appear on their map. Place the ward, and I'm gone. So as long as you hug this area up here, you can place this ward, which is good for getting vision of the high ground in mid and vision of the rune. Although that's going to be, I think, slightly different in the new patch, because I think it's only this bit of the cliff that's moved. So it shouldn't be the end of the world. And here, I think it's pretty important when you've got an SF in your lane, in your team, to help them out middle a little bit at the start. So even though Rubick's not the best at harassing, I just sort of try to come sit here, because I want to secure his early last hits. I should fade bolt pretty early because it reduces his damage, so I take less when I'm trading, but all I'm really trying to do is distract him and get him a little bit low. SF helps me out here, misses his raise, but this just makes sure that the Shadow Fiend doesn't just get right-clicked from second 1, and just harass the shit and starts off badly against the laner. And if Shadow Fiend can get these early last hits, it's really important for him to be able to snowball for early on in his game. Like if he gets those extra points up in Necromastery, then it makes his last hitting a lot easier. So just that little bit of time invested there, which is going to be a bit worse for my gyro, I think is worthwhile in this game. There's some shit going on top. We've got a dual lane Slider Magnus, and one of them is much more aggressive than the other one. Here, if you I was trying to ping here for the Slider to go, because here he needs to be going. If you don't think it's the right decision, you can't just leave your teammate to die, right? Like, this is not anything about my gameplay, but so this guy's gone in here. This line's really low and can die. If he starts running up this way, he's trapped in here, and if he gets a crush off on him, he's dead. So he should have been moving up past the creeps, not during creep aggro, getting a crush off there and killing him. But either way, he just leaves the Magnus to die, and he feeds again. So that's annoying, but you can only do what you can do. Here the gyro is pretty aggressive and is quite keen to go these guys, but it's really close to their tower, and both of them have a way to stop initiation. So if I lift I should maybe have lifted the ES there and pulled them back, but I didn't quite react in time, and the gyro was too far back, I think, for me to do it. So if I lift the shaker, then the clockwork can run up in cogs, and if I lift the clockwork, then the shaker can fissure. So either way, they have sort of a disengage mechanic, but now we're in a better position to fight. I'm just trying to sort of dance away from a cogs here, so he doesn't just cogs me and drain my mana. But we've got creep advantage here. The gyro is right on top of him, so he's in a good position to pick him up, throw him back, and then he can sit on top of him with his rocket barrage going, so that he can't get cogs off, although he doesn't hug close enough to him there and lets him get it. But still, that's good harass damage on them by ours. Now I got my 2 clarities. Pop my second one now. I've got my flanker and quick buy, you know, because I'm Mr. Fifth, but flanker is really important for mid for bottle crying. Probably more important than my boots, is the Gyro's the one doing all the chase down. This is a mistake by us. We sort of, I think, to be fair, the Gyro sort of overcommitted a little bit here because there's a creep wave coming. He should have just backed off at this point, I think. We was never going to actually get that kill. I didn't have enough mana for Fade Bolt. And then after he sort of committed, I ran forward trying to help him get this kill because he does have flak up and he was pretty low. I think here I should have run up. I didn't sort of react correctly to this clockwork running at me. Didn't really know where he came from. He wasn't on my screen. I think he must have come from the river. Yeah, he'd gone down for a rotation to mid or 2-minute rune or something. But the Magnus comes and actually gets the kill on the ES here, so that's really good for us. And the Gyro would get out, but he makes a mistake here. Instead of just, if he just ran straight down, he wouldn't have got stunned by the laner. He was out of range, but he does this weird ensuring it's me drawing where he should have run. It was just ensuring that he dies. So now instead of TPing back to lane, which a lot of people would do, I go and stack for the SF because I don't have a lot of gold as support and spending 75 gold on the TP just to run. I'm telling the SF that I'm stacking, so he should go stack this camp, but he doesn't. He just goes back to mid, but whatever. So I'm stacking, and then now this is the other good thing, is that I can soak a bit of solo XP mid. Like it's last hit and a couple of creeps. Like so, you know, 80 gold from a wagon's pretty significant for a starved for gold support. I've got my other ward up, and I try to place it here instead of going and standing here and placing it on this cliff or something. I try to come from this angle, so I'm not likely to be seen from any wards that they have in the river, because I'm placing it sort of 4 minutes. So if they have any wards in this area, they're potentially likely to see me. But I want to place it from as far away as I can. I don't want to run all the way out here and then drop it, so it's much more likely so that they'll see me. Or even if they do have wards, if I'm only on there for a split second, they might not notice. Or have time to click my inventory or whatever. So just chuck it there, get some vision of these bot runes for rotations from Lena and all that sort of stuff, and clockwork if he starts roaming mid. Now I'm just sort of sitting behind the EC. If he wants to make a play on this Lena, I think this is really important as well, how I do this. If I just run at the Lena here, this guy's pinging him, he wants me to just run, but my lift range is pretty short, right? Like, I can't just run at him because he's going to react and back up. He's going to be suspicious. So what I kind of do is, like, if my initial play is to just run straight at him and then he runs away, he's going to be super suspicious of a gank, right? So what I do is sort of dance around in lane, look like I'm just last hitting creeps and soaking XP, and then when he sort of comes a bit too close, then I step forward and lift him. Also, when I lifted him, I threw him back. So he's sort of backing up here, I back up a little bit, draw him in, and then bang. There, he's overcommitted, right, and go. And I throw him towards the Shadow Fiend, which I think is really important, because if I threw him like down here, not the way that the SF was facing, he might have be more likely to miss a raise or whatever. So one option is just to keep him still, but I think throwing him towards the SF is better there because it means he's going to be able to get more last hits off. Now I'm heading back to bottom, but these guys seem to be doing okay without me. It's really good. Gyro's such a good early game here. Gyro does play pretty well. So these rotations that I've been making have all been resulting in kills, right? Like I've been stacking for the SF, which was good. Got a kill mid for the SF, came bottom, got another kill for Gyro. Keeping up ward vision. I know this one's about to expire in a minute, so I think I just got the gold I got from that kill. I bought another ward. I think I go place this one mid. Stack for the SF again. And then I go sit behind mid even though the mag's here. Because I want to go replace this mid ward. There's arguably not the best place to put it, but it's just nice to give vision around the mid lane, like rather than up here looking more for rotations. I think protecting our SF is really important. Gyro is a lot safer and he can fight a lot harder, but these guys are quite likely to rotate on the SF. Like, so you see this Earthshaker movement sitting around, like behind. I'll talk about this smoke in a second. But you see this like Earthshaker sitting up around here. You know, looking to back up the leaner or to look for a gank on mid. All that stuff's visible, whereas if I had warded here, then you wouldn't see all that. You might see him rotate there, but you wouldn't actually see stuff relevant to the mid lane. Now, this ESF was just farming. I don't think I actually told him I wanted to smoke, but I wanted to place a ward here. So wards you want sort of in the mid game, once you've sort of secured with your early game wards, once you want to be moving to try to get a good ward around mid to protect your mid lane's farm from ganks, and to hopefully have some vision of the runes. And dropping a sentry here is normally pretty good, but I didn't have money for that, or I didn't choose to spend money on that this game. But another really good ward is to get a safe lane protecting ward, so one here is really good, or here. Just it can see TPs from the enemy team if they're TPing in to come gank him, or if they're just running down here or hiding in the trees here to come down and gank your safe lane farm. So it protects that pretty well. The other bonuses, like smoking was important to do there, because if they have any sort of vision around here and they see me run into Roche Pit, they're just going to instantly deward the spot, and that's a waste of a ward. So spending 100 now with the new patch, it's only 50 gold on a smoke, which is sick. I get to place this ward undetected and potentially gank the clock, which I chose not to do because I thought it was a bit too overcommitted, and I was sort of tossing up between, they were all yelling to come here, and I was sort of getting tossed up between the two. But that smoke 100 gold resulted in our SF getting a kill on their mid hero who's already behind and has started like warding for himself and stuff. So if you look at their vision, they actually didn't have many wards this game, and I think now maybe it's where the laner starts buying his own wards. But just look at the vision difference that we have in this game compared to them. Like their Lion his names can't support, and he's got tranquil boots. I don't know if tranquil boots, but we've got way better ward vision, and it's resulting in a much better early and mid game for us. So this is what I was sort of talking about. If I went to go on the clockwork here, just like one TP rotation, and we're in a super dangerous position. This Gyro's going hard as a motherfucker. And this guy just sits here and TP's in. I remember this. I'm like, are you gonna come? Are you gonna keep TPing? Alright, well I'm just gonna wait for you to come in and just straight lift you. And you did. So that was definitely a decision. But I saw who it was, I saw it was Lion. I guess he could have instant hexed me, but lift's instant as well. He probably could have shift queued it, but then the gyro is not hexed, so. And he can just pop rockets and barrage and fight him. That ward's actually not visible. It's just a map bug. So I was just sort of hiding because I'm terrified of clock, and now he's shown, so I know I'm okay to go back and lane, but I'm still a little nervous of that Lena who was floating around. This is just trying to take XP. If there's a free lane like that and you can take some free XP and gold where you can get it, then do it. Like if your cores are starting to transition into the jungle, then take a lane if the opportunity presents itself, and just get some solo XP. Got my level 6 now, which is really good. So like this early farm on our Shadow Fiend, like a Shadow Fiend's such an early snowballing hero, and farm accelerates sort of exponentially if you get a good start. So I think helping him out was really big this game, and it hasn't really put our Gyro too far behind. Net worth wise, they're the two furthest ahead in the game. Our offlane's done pretty poorly, and as always the winning team's support is always the poorest, as PPD knows. Can I skip ahead from this? Pause. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought I had both teams' vision on, but that's just how good our vision is at the moment. I went Tranks because I didn't think I'd have money for arcane boots this game. So going, our Gyro is still not here, but they're not pausing for him, which is really annoying. I started to go Trank boots and Soul Ring. My friend reckons that Soul Ring's not really required on Rubick, but I like it, especially if you're stealing like high mana cost spells. Arcane boots is definitely nice, but if you have Trank's Soul Ring, it just gives you sort of an endless supply of regen and mana, so you can always sort of be on the map. Whereas the mana boots don't give you any health regen. So like you could go mana boots earn or something like that, but it's more expensive. if I was playing like 4th position, or even if I just had another support, I probably would have done that. But this is all free XP I'm stealing here. Clock turns up and I have nothing. If he hooks me, I'm just sort of fucked. So my gyro was coming, so I sort of baited him, let him run at me, just lifted him before he went for his earth spike.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under
Use that kill, pick up some soul ring and some more wards as my I was trying to lift that jug there or something, I think. As my wards around the rune have expired, and these ones are sort of starting to drop off. So just keep buying them off cooldown. This is a bit of outplay. I think I trash talk him here as well. I think I'm pretty good, guys. I think I'm pretty good. So I just mana drain him to bait him because I know the gyro is coming. So I chuck mana drain, which is either going to make him run away and I just drain his mana, or he's going to run at me, and then when he runs at me I lift him, throw him towards the gyro, and then I fog him, so I hug the trees here so that he can't get an ulti off of me, and then I still spin, because I can. Outplayed, mate. Yeah, it's like partly being a bit of a dick, but also it's sort of throwing them on tilt when they're behind in a game like this, and there's clearly some people that are not performing. Just throwing in a bit of shit talk is a bit of fun. I don't know if these are the best decisions on these two wards, placing them both in pretty much the same place, but I figure we're about to get bottom tower here. This is another good kill. Hiding in the trees. This is a really little bit of play by me, I think. Get the spin off here, sort of back out. I fucked up a little bit there, but I got the Fate Bolt off to kill him. He fissures me, but I get on the other side of it, steal fissure, run down, fissure all of them with instant cast, and then I try to fog him in the trees here. Run through the eat a tree, Fate Bolt. Simple stuff. I think it's a bit more trash talk as well, because I'm, I don't play support that much anymore, because I have only more recently started playing a lot of solo ranked. Before that I played with my friends a lot, and I play mid in like core positions mostly just mid. So and I've been playing Dota for years, and I've played plenty of support, but it's actually fun how active you can be. Like, all this shit you can do, there's like so much more spells to cast. Like, you don't spend as much time farming, you actually spend more time doing shit on the map, which is quite fun as a sort of change of pace. And you get to sort of control the pace of the game a bit more, and sort of make there's more decisions about what happens. I think there's more skill involved in the sort of spell casting and positioning, rather than just being efficient with your farming and getting a point to where it doesn't matter if you're a retard because you've got 4 items on SF and they've got nothing, and you can just, A-click their base. It's definitely a much easier way to win, but it gives you sort of more opportunity to outplay your opponents, and I see why some of my friends enjoy playing support. This is just a bit overcommit by our team. I just go for a fissure. I think I tried to go for a fissure here just to save my team, but they're already safe, so I just chuck out a random one and leave. They de-ward my ward up here, which is annoying. Still hanging around because my team is a good pick off. I was looking for sort of fissure into lift, but they were already stunned by the slider. So we have a really good team composition in this game, except the Magnus is kind of weird, but it doesn't really fit with our SF or our gyro, except for RP and like cooldowns and stuff. But it doesn't really take advantage of the cleave from Magnus. This guy's playing a little bit over aggressive, but whatevs. I was trying to get hooked, but I still cogs. But yeah, we're just way ahead on farm, like hugely. De-ward their wards. Try to sneak up a little cheeky ward in their base. Watch for these sort of SF plays. I don't even think he has blink. But yeah, I think I fissure. Oh, I don't have fissure anymore. I'm trying to steal it, I think. Yeah, I was trying to steal fissure. But yeah, simple game, pretty short. Racks at 18 minutes, and I think some of that was due to our draft, and some of that was due to good play by Gyro. I don't think SF did anything particular that was like, besides just playing solid Dota and farming reasonably well. Like, yeah, I think, like I say, I think I had a fairly large impact on how the early game went, which just snowballed us into a victory. And even in the mid game, like, you know, dictating some of these team fights happen around the bottom tower here, keeping us having vision. Our vision was just better than theirs all game, which is really important when they have heroes like Clock and Earthshaker and stuff. And we have Blink Sliders, it's good too. Sliders getting a bit ham here, and you don't want to just all sit and rush, because if the Clock hooks in and gets you all, and then there's like fissures and cogs and push you all around and shit, you want to be zoning their heroes that are coming to looking to disrupt your Roshan while your cores finish Rosh. And I was just sitting behind Slider here a little bit. He gets stuck on the other side. I think I blink there to steal Fissure the Clock, yeah. Fissure's just such a good spell to steal if you can. I don't know why he hasn't maxed Fissure, that's really weird. He's maxed Enchant Totem. Ugh, that's disgusting. I think I didn't have vision of the ES there, otherwise I would have blinked and lifted him, but I've switched back to free camera, which is showing everyone's perspective, but I don't know if there's too much more to look at in this game, but we'll finish it off quickly. Well, yeah, I guess to summarize, the general points I think from this game were to identify where needs help early, like if you need to be in your safe lane right from the start, or if you can afford to help your mid out, or if it's good to help your mid out with his mid lane matchup. Getting up good early wards without being detected, securing the bounty rune at the start like that. Getting vision up without it being detected. And keeping it up, because keeping it up allows you to deal with their wards, which I don't really do of any of this game, because the wards I did place weren't in my vision, and or they just weren't placed. But yeah, it allows you to see them placing wards, which is really useful for keeping their vision down while yours is up, and just slowly advancing your map control and your ward position as you get further ahead in the game. Like you sort of saw, my initial wards were like, let's go to free camera. My initial wards were sort of here and here, like in this sort of a line. Oh god, there, and then they sort of advanced ahead. I had another one mid lane, and then I had one here, and then I was sort of pushing them forward. These are sort of good wards to get, you know, later in the game on the dire side as well, and then one in their base. So you're sort of advancing your vision slowly towards their base, and just keeping pressure on them the whole time. And even though I was playing 5th and warding a lot because we had such good, you know, took a lot of towers and took some good team fights, and I minimized my deaths as well by having good positioning. I managed to get blink and get some good items up. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. I think playing heroes like this sort of suits my style more in winning. Like I know a lot of people will talk about playing heroes like Dazzle and not Shadow Shaman, Shadow Demon, you know, heroes that can sort of, in Omni Knight, like ones that can sort of keep your cores alive and protect them, whereas I'm sort of thinking, and even Earthshaker to some extent, like you can do big fight plays with Earthshaker and ultimates and stuff, but it's harder to sort of initiate with him. He's more defensive, like you're more about sort of sitting in mid lane or sitting behind your cores and fissuring to protect them. And a lot of the initiations and the starts of fights won't happen on your cord when you're playing those heroes. So if your cores overcommit, you can save them by, you know, using your fissures or your graves or disruption, that sort of thing. Whereas with a hero like Rubick, and you watch like Kuroki play Rubick in that, he's always the one initiating the fight, starting the fights. He'll be blinking and lifting someone. He'll be going, picking off each new hero and sort of saying, here you go team, here's this next guy, well fucking I'm going to pick him up and throw him at you and you're going to kill him. And just picking the right times to fight for your team, and you can sort of use your knowledge and experience of the game to help win by deciding when and where the fights happen, and have them on good terms. So yeah, I was trying to play around with Rubick a bit, and I was really enjoying him. And I'll leave it at that. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Cheers.